Hey folks. What's up? Have you ever heard of the Straits of Malacca? Oh yeah, it's one of the most important trade routes in the world. The Kingdom of Malacca used to rule this place like a boss until the Portuguese showed up in 1511. That was a significant event in Southeast Asian history as it marked the beginning of European colonization in the region. But wait, what if in some other universe, the Portuguese had failed in their invasion of Malacca? My name is Sumadotus, and welcome to my channel where I'm going to talk about this alternate timeline. So, why would the Portuguese fail, you may ask? Well, here are a few reasons. Number 1. Stronger resistance from the Malaccan forces. The Portuguese conquered Malacca because they had superior military technology and tactics. But what if the Malaccan forces were better equipped or had a more effective strategy for defending the city? Imagine the Portuguese coming to Malacca with all their cannons and muskets, but getting their butts kicked by the Malaccan army. Haha, that would be hilarious. Number 2. Disease or other logistical challenges. The Portuguese were also able to conquer Malacca because they were able to maintain a strong supply line and avoid being weakened by disease. But what if they were struck by a disease outbreak or had logistical challenges? Imagine the Portuguese soldiers on the toilet all day long, unable to fight. Hilarious. Number 3. Intervention from other powers. The Portuguese were not the only European power seeking to expand their influence in Southeast Asia at the time of the Malacca invasion. What if another power, such as the Spanish or the Dutch, had intervened on behalf of the Malaccans? Or what if other Asian powers like the Siamese Kingdom or the Ming dynasty had intervened? Imagine the Portuguese running for their lives with their tails between their legs. Ha ha ha. Number 4. Unforeseen circumstances. As with any historical event, there are many variables that can impact the outcome of an invasion. What if the Portuguese had encountered unforeseen challenges or circumstances, such as a sudden natural disaster or a major internal conflict within their own ranks? Oh boy, that would have been a great sight to watch. Now, let's talk about what would have happened if the Portuguese had failed their invasion of Malacca. Number 1. Delayed European colonization. Without the strategic location and resources of Malacca, it would have been more difficult for European powers to establish footholds in the region. We might have seen the Malay kingdoms and other neighboring kingdoms around Southeast Asia become more aware of foreign invasion from Europe. Maybe they would have created a new interesting outcome where they would be more prepared for the upcoming European invasion. Number 2. Continued dominance of the Malay sultanates. If the Portuguese had failed to conquer Malacca, it's possible that the Sultanate would have continued to dominate the region and expand its influence. The Sultanate could have continued to expand its trade network and establish stronger alliances with neighboring kingdoms, potentially creating a united front against European powers seeking to establish colonies in the region. The Malay Sultanate could have also continued to develop its own unique cultural and economic systems, potentially influencing the development of other kingdoms in the region. Who knows, they might even learn to adapt Western technology and weaponry to fight against another possible foreign invasion. Number 3. Different cultural and economic development. The Portuguese brought with them new technologies and ideas that had a significant impact on the cultures and economies of Southeast Asia. But what if they had failed to conquer Malacca? It's possible that the region would have been more gradual and less significant. Without the resources and strategic location of Malacca, it would have been more difficult for European powers to establish a strong foothold in the region. It's possible that European influence would have been limited to a few trading posts or colonies, rather than widespread colonization. This could have resulted in a different trajectory of development for Southeast Asia, with less European influence and a greater emphasis on regional cultures and traditions. In conclusion, the failed Portuguese invasion of Malacca could have had significant and far-reaching consequences for Southeast Asia. From delayed European colonization to a more gradual influence, to the continued dominance of the Malay Sultanates in a different cultural and economic landscape, the possibilities are endless. While we can never know for sure what would have happened in this alternate timeline, it's important to consider the potential outcomes and how they could have impacted the history and development of this fascinating region. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this exploration of what-if scenarios in Southeast Asian history.